know,
Unless
it's
they
kind of
came back
surprising
though.
we ain't gonna. It's surprising we ain't talking about like the whole game versus 50 Cent thing. I mean, it's old, but like
Old and
it's
played out.
resurged
The
or
game
whatever.
is ass.
Yeah.
Um, and there's that blaring fact. There's that blaring fact. Welcome back to another episode of They Gon' Feel Me, where you get authentic conversation from authentic men. So far, Rob's internet is working, so we hope it makes it throughout the whole episode. This is episode 47. Y'all be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video so your mama can see it, your daddy can see it, your auntie can see it, your uncle can see it, DoorDash can see it because they some bitches. Fuck you, DoorDash driver that left my food outside my apartment that was not my apartment, that was clearly on the other side of my goddamn shit, and you didn't put the code in, but that's neither here nor there. We're not gonna bring my frustrations out during this episode. You got me hosting today. Your boy DoorDash is worse than Trump because DoorDash is worse than Trump. They some bitches just like him. We got my boy LS Pooh. We got my boy Serena the GOAT because she is the GOAT. And we got the weekend voice coach because that boy cannot sing on stage. His voice went out. You feel me? But, like we always say, man, we finna get in, give y'all some great content. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You feel me? Y'all boys ready for the show?
Let's
Yes,
get it.
Let's
sir.
get it, let's get it, let's get it, let's get it, let's get
There
it.
you go.
So we starting off today with a great topic. Not so great, but it's talking about the Jackson water crisis. So if you guys have been under a rock and you haven't seen what's going on in Jackson right now, it's kind of like Flint 2.0. They have unusable water, undrinkable water, and to me, it just kind of has me wondering, like, yo, what's really going on with our water systems if this can happen in two separate areas? So you fellas tell me what you guys think about this situation.
It's not surprising. Me and that, or looking at the situation, is something that has been brewing for years and years because of purposeful neglect, from officials, from government officials, being I hate white individuals, Republicans specifically, basically playing politics within the city of Jackson, taking their various funds and not allowing the city to fix infrastructure or things that they need to properly have a city to run. So basically, when you see situations like Jackson, it's political posturing, and they're really playing politics and games with people's lives. And to me, that's nothing short of straight up evil. So it's just sick. The whole situation is sick. But we continue to pray for those individuals down there that's affected, and people have been coming out of the positive to it. If there is a positive, the people in surrounding communities, surrounding areas have really been stepping up and donating water, and basically trying to fit that or fit that need that they have for the water. So that's a silver lining for a bad situation.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of reminds me of Flint all over again. It's kind of crazy, and to hear that it's really related to politics and just having inadequate funding for the water upgrades is kind of crazy. Water is very essential, and it's necessary for life. To live. So to hear that politicians are playing with people's water and basically not really caring about if people have water is kind of weird to me, and kind of crazy. And it's just, we got to start looking at us as a society. We have to start looking at at these politicians and holding them accountable for the things that they do. And really like getting out there and voting, like we always say, on this podcast when it's around election time, go vote. And maybe things like this won't happen. But prayer, like Rob said, prayers out to those people, who are affected by the water crisis in Jackson, and just hoping that it gets resolved eventually, and it doesn't linger on too long. Yeah.
I mean, as a Mississippian, I kind of look at this situation. I feel like it's multi-tiered. I mean, it's easily to talk about like the politicians and misappropriation of funds and things like that, and that's definitely a part of it. But I mean, let's be real. I mean, some things are couldn't be affected, we'll say, or couldn't be helped from a certain standpoint, yet they could have been. I mean, this issue started with flooding, recent flooding that basically happened, and that overwhelmed their water treatment facility, and I mean, I know a lot of people who are right swing and will probably say, "Oh, this becomes, this is like the platform that liberals can stand on to basically talk about a subject they don't want to talk about." But let's get into it. Like the reality is that like our environment is being damaged to a point where it feels as if like we're having more harsh weather conditions that are directly linked to pollution and just like not doing the conservative things that we could potentially do to basically not cause such an impact on nature just in general, and then as a separate part of that, then you have like the issue of water treatment facility based on being overrun because like maybe it should have been tended to for like tended to years ago. I mean, the reality of the matter is that we can call this Flint 2.0, but like I mean, this is probably more like Flint 11.5 because like this, I mean, we have the poorest state, Mississippi, being overwhelmed in its own capital. But like, I mean, let's be real. There are infrastructure issues that are all across the United States. There's many states that are just getting ready to be probably the next Flint, Jackson, or whatever natural disaster comes along and then causes it to get overwhelmed. I mean, hell, Vegas, of all places, just had extensive flooding, and it's in the middle of the desert. I mean, when it's all said and done, a misappropriation of funds is one thing, but it's also kind of like a thing of we really need to pay attention to like our impact and like basically get ready for the worst of things, or at the very least, attend to the things that we can take care of. It's sad that it seems as if like when I mean if you want to I don't mean to like rant either or ramble, but like I mean when you look at like Republicans, it's like you can come after gay sex, I mean gay marriage. You can come after like abortions. You can come after all these things, and throw money at it. I even read about the whole Brett Favre thing and how they gave him money, misappropriated funds for like speeches that he didn't do, but then turn around and it's like actual infrastructure that you need to do within your state you don't handle. Like that's lost, thrown away money, and that's something that needs to be attended to and like answered for, and like when you go to like your various news outlets and like fish for like information, you can't overlook that because like you lean more to the right or to the left or whatever, like whatever rhetoric you want to believe in. Like it's all kind of very indicative of a systematic problem that just basically needs to be attended to. Not trying to
The
ramble
thing,
once
the
again.
thing about Jackson though that makes it that more unique though is Jackson is the capital city. I mean, it's the capital of Mississippi. So you would think,
Yeah,
you would think a person would think, hey, if this is your capital, the streets. I mean, anybody who's gone to Jackson or driven through Jackson, one of the first things you'll notice, like, whoa, these potholes are something serious. I mean, it's almost like you have to drive through a slalom course to miss potholes, and, and it's crazy. But the other part of this story that really irks me and bothers me is to have people, calling out the current mayor, not absolving him from from everything or his responsibilities or whatever. But if you are in a situation and you're basically sitting on a ticking time bomb, which costs way more than you have the amount of money to spend, and you go to your state legislature and you appeal to them like, hey, I'm going to need, let's say, 500 million to help which upwards is probably it's supposed to be in the billions to repair the whole water system, and they deny you funds. What are you supposed to do? Even though you're in the seat of mayor, if the governor of your state denies funds for you, what are you supposed to do? It's almost a situation where they're setting Jackson up to be a failure purposefully, so then they can come in and take up all and reclaim, a city. Because if you know the history, at one time Jackson was an area that was mostly inhabited by Caucasians. And once the demographics of Jackson started to change, Caucasians started leaving the area, going to suburbs
White flight.
around. But yeah, basically white flight. You can see it in desegregation of school districts all over the state and all over the country. But when desegregation came, individuals started leaving. They started going, to Flowood, the Madisons, the Pearls, and all that, and taking away their resources out of that city. So now the city starts to go down because you don't have as many resources. And then they come back and look at you like, hey, why is the city going down? Why does the city have a crime problem? Why does the city have an infrastructure problem? Why does the city have this? You're in power. You're responsible for it. Like, you don't know why these things are happening. And that's the thing that irks me. Like, when you purposefully do stuff or set a situation up for someone to fail, and then you look back like, I have no earthly idea why this thing is failed.
How this happened. Yeah. I would tell anybody in your respective state, city, or whatever. Like, I mean, ultimately, use this as like a index. Like, use this as like an example of what you should be looking out for. Like, I mean, you can't like wait until like a tragedy happens to basically address the problem. Like, a lot of things are preventative. A lot of things you need to like basically look out for whatever issue is going to be on the horizon to address, and like you need to step up and like basically tell your elected officials like, hey, yo, this needs to be done. Like, we can't just expect the people, the 1%, or even the government at times to necessarily help you out unless like you stand on their neck and you force them. As simple as that.
Yeah, man, it's a messed up situation that's going on down there, man. But I pray everything gets worked out, gets situated, because I can only imagine having to go through something like that. You can't take a bath, you can't give your kids bath, you can't drink water and stuff like that, man. It's just sad, So
Yeah, you just moved to Houston. I'm sorry, to Texas, bro. Like, you better hope that electric grid don't go down.
yeah, man, it's already getting on my nerves. So, moving on to the next topic, man. Keeping it in the realms of Texas, we got this whole Meg Thee Stallion picture that came out. So, if you guys been on Instagram, if you guys have been on Facebook or anywhere like that, there was this picture of Meg Thee Stallion that came out. She was all natural. Looks better than half of you females that had something to say, by the way. But hey, that's neither here nor there. She was all natural walking down. People were like, hey, is this your queen? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Right? Trying to bash her. And I do appreciate those who came to her defense and was like, what the hell y'all expect? Y'all expect her to walk around with makeup on 24/7? So, fellas, I ask you, if you've seen the picture, not only what do you think about the picture, which is question number 1A, but number 1B, do you think, is it just based upon social media, or do you think really the way that the world looks at women have changed over these last few years?
I honestly thought the picture was normal. I mean, to me, she looked good. She looked fine without makeup. I mean, normally when you
no stomach,
yeah,
thighs out. I mean,
when people was when people was
watch this episode.
When people was talking, I was looking for something like blemishes on her face, or acne, or something like that, something that stood out. But her skin looked smooth. She looked fine. She just didn't have the things that accentuate her face. With makeup, it kind of accentuates certain features of a woman's face and stuff like that. But to me, she looked fine. I mean, she looked like she was out running errands, and I mean, I don't see what the fuss was about. And then when we talk about, what do people look at now as far as has it become a norm? I think it has become a norm. I think people are so used to to women wearing makeup and seeing some of these women who wear makeup in excess. Like it's just like it's obnoxious how much makeup they put on their face. And it's like we got to get. Sometimes we need to scale it back some. You know what I'm saying? But not to talk bad about women, because a lot of women look good when they put on makeup. But I mean, we as men, I think most of us men, we like our women to look natural. Like what I'm saying, I could speak for majority of men, and I think a lot of men like to see their women look natural. But again, I didn't see anything wrong with the picture. I think social media definitely plays a part in it. But I also think another thing is, like, when it comes to black women, a lot of black women get flack, for their facial features and like having strong facial features. You look at Serena. Serena was another, woman that got a lot of flack. Like, she had a nice body, but they always looked at her and said she looked masculine. And I think that's the same thing with Meg. And even I think about Michelle Obama. A lot of people talk about Michelle Obama, who's a nice looking older woman. You know what I'm saying? So I just think black women in general get a lot of flack when it comes to their facial features in general, and it's just something that needs to stop, man. Like it's kind of crazy, and I just feel like people need to give it a rest, especially dudes. Come on, dudes. Like I seen some of y'all women. Like y'all be running around here with bugaboos, cause y'all women be out here looking like the bottom of my shoe, and y'all talk about Meg Thee Stallion. I'm just saying.
It looked to me honestly like she had just either was coming from or was going to the gym to work out. And I personally don't have a problem with it. Don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, what do you expect? My thing is this: as a celebrity or as a person in general, it's gotten to a point to where people, somewhere along the way, people don't realize that even celebrities are humans too. Meaning that you're not going to be on all the time. There are going to be situations where, hey, somebody catches you, maybe you fart. Okay, that's normal. That's a normal bodily function. Hey, they catch you and your weave ain't right, or you're looking crazy. You're looking disheveled. So, and who cares? It's just another one of those situations where, like, what's the real point? Because a lot of times you go on social media and you see people Instagram in the gym with full makeup on, not sweating a lick. They supposed to be showing you how to do a workout, and it's just looking like just there for a show. I'm like, some of these videos, you look nothing like the people I actually see in the gym that's actually working out and putting the work in.
But that's the thing, though. It's kind of like we live in a world where, with all these filters and social media, like, sets this standard of perfection that a person doesn't have the ability to basically be perfect. Celebrities are people. They ain't got perfect skin. They ain't got perfect anything. I mean, Meg does kind of have a perfect body, but that's beside the point. Like a lot of these celebrities got like surgery and more things. It's basically making themselves look the part. A lot of dudes don't even understand the depths of what it takes for a woman to come out and present themselves. A lot of dudes have been with women for like multiple years and haven't seen their real face yet, and they basically lost in this la la land of they're perfect. It's like, you know what? When it comes to Meg the Stallion, I want to celebrate the things that Meg is doing, from being on P Valley to being on She Hulk. Shout out to Meg getting her bag out there. You know what I'm saying? On both sides of the spectrum of decency, like anything she can do to be a success. Hey, like if we don't talk about like uplifting black folk, uplifting our people, and giving them support when they deserve support, my hat's off to her.
It also
Keep doing what you do,
it
Meg.
also speaks to our need in general, I don't know if this is just a cultural thing or just a societal thing in general. It's like people love to put you up on a pedestal only to knock you, to knock you down. It's like,
I think we talked about that last show. I mean, it's just like what people like to, because people like to feel like they like to hold you near and dear to their heart. And when you get so big that everybody knows about you, then it's not as sacred anymore. It's not as like, it doesn't feel like it's yours anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, it almost feels like, oh, I knew about this person before everybody knew about them, and now everybody knows about them. So, they're not as special anymore to me. And it's like, dog, why do y'all do that? Like Jay-Z said,
the psychology of a hater.
They what did Jay-Z said? They love me, then they hate me, then they love me again. At the end of the day, when it's the end of the career, then they want to love you again. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just something that we gotta stop doing as people, as a society. Just in general, it's like people want you to only be special to them, and that's not what a lot of people's purpose is. It's to be special to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? They want to touch the world. How can I touch the world if you only want me to be yours, special to you? You know what I'm saying? So
Also, some of these people ain't got no real opinions. They only like bitching and moaning because somebody else did. It's groupthink. Be original. Be yourself. Like, be a human being. Like, individually, a lot of folk ain't got so much Anna in their heart. But then you have like an opportunity to join in on like whatever Twitter or Instagram or whoever like has to say, and all of a sudden you want to be like, don't pile on the rabbit, and then like just basically spew out all this bullshit out your mouth. It's like, maybe you need to shut the fuck up, and let people
and
live.
I mean, let's be honest, man. Like, you know what I'm saying, black don't crack, man. That melanin be popping, because I done seen a lot of these white women that y'all hype up without makeup on, and they don't look half as good as Meg look when she in that pic. But y'all sit out, y'all be out here talking about, ooh, she looks so good. She looks so good without makeup. Nah, that bride got black spots all under her eyes, look like a face drooping. Motherfucker look like she melting. Look like that creature from Batman. What was his name?
Like the Krusty Krab.
God damn, bro. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like,
I will say this though.
That bitch look like the Dirty Patty do shit.
In general, don't try to dim somebody else's light to make your light shine brighter.
Bitch look like bubble bath.
Not bubble bath. Bro, out here looking like Squidward. Get the fuck out of here.
But nah, man, most definitely. That was. I mean, I feel for Meg, man. Even going through all the stuff that she went through with Tory Lanez, man. But then you turn around and you see the stuff she going through in her own city with Jay Prince and all of them folks, and then she got stuff going on with the Barbs and all of that, and she made the perfect. She had the perfect response. I'm gonna just go ahead and hop off of this. I'm gonna hop off of Twitter, hop off of all this, because y'all can talk online, but y'all won't say nothing IRL, which is true, man. Y'all can talk all that y'all want to talk in the comments, but you'll never run up in IRL because you're going to get your ass whooped. So that's neither here nor there. Moving on to the next topic. Man, this is really a sensitive one for me as well, man, because this crap was crazy. So we got the whole Tiffany Haddish thing. If you guys don't know what was going on, Tiffany Haddish and Aaron Spears, they put out I don't know if that was recent or if this was years ago. I believe it was years ago.
Years ago.
Yeah, it was years ago, because I even saw another skit that she had where she did like a spoof about being beat up by Chris Brown, and she was playing Rihanna. So she had some weird spoofs back in the day, but she did a spoof with Aaron Spears about child molestation pretty much, and then they had, of course, of all things, R. Kelly playing in the background, man. So y'all tell me what y'all felt after seeing the video, and then after her coming out and making
all I gotta say is
I haven't seen the video. I have not seen the video. I've only heard it described to me.
I seen parts of it, and it was not cool, bro. It was not funny, man. It wasn't. That's my whole thing. It wasn't funny. Like, it didn't. You know how back in the, and I understand, like, back in the day when you had the whole Short Bus Shawty and all that type of stuff, where you had them spoofs, those were funny, and I get it. Okay, that was at the it's like you go through eras. We went through eras with clothes and stuff like that, so that was the era of the spoofs and all of that. But it's like just certain things that will never be funny, and that's one of them. I don't think think anybody will ever find child molestation a hilarious topic, bro.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, what
That-
what other thing do you draw the line? Because we had this discussion before, like when talking about Dave Chappelle and his run in with the LGBT community. But what other things, or where do you draw the line where, like, hey man, we gon' just leave that. I mean, okay, you said
child molestation is not funny. Like, I mean, speaking on people's children to an extent is ridiculous anyway. Like, I mean, even though that boy bad as hell talking about T.I. son, I saw the perfect quote. It baffles me that we can sit here and talk about T.I. son and y'all find it okay, but I can't call Lizzo fat without y'all canceling me, right? Like, that's some crazy stuff. But I feel like kids and shit like that should be off limits. You know what I mean? To an extent when it comes to comedy. I understand if you just making a joke about your own kids, like Kevin Hart, where he talk about his own kids and shit. But
I beg to disagree. I look at it like this: comedy is subjective. It's very subjective, and like there's a such thing as dark comedy, but people make jokes about like things that are otherwise sensitive, and then I mean, comedy for some people is like just pointing out the inconsistencies of the world, and then like trying to find some humor in it. Now there's some things that work, there's some things that don't. As simple as that. You can make a 9/11 joke now, but you couldn't make a 9/11 joke, let's say 9/12 2001, you know what I'm saying, like directly after the
incident. It's a lot of moving parts that go into it too, though. It's like depends on how you do it, who does it.
That's what I'm getting at when I say children are off limits. That's what I'm getting.
Nuance.
I
it's
think,
a nuance where you can
but
I think the problem with this video is they actually had a little kid in the video
doing weird ass acts, bro. That's the thing.
They had a kid in the video. He was in his drawers for another. That was another thing. And then like Spears, he just looked disgusting, bro. Like he looked like, I don't know. It just wasn't funny.
This the same dude that had the audacity to call Lizzo the shit emoji.
And that's the part.
That's what I was
right
gonna
there.
say. Karma is a bitch, but I didn't necessarily have a problem with him saying talking about Lizzo. That's his thing. I mean,
I did.
I didn't necessarily have a problem with him saying it. I think he probably shouldn't have said it personally. But I'm not like up in arms like saying, oh, you shouldn't have said that. That's not, like a lot of people are butthurt about him saying it because they think he ugly, blah, 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 blah. Whatever, that's their opinion. But this is not, and this is not tasteful at all in any way. I think if it had been three adults doing it, maybe would have passed, but
So
I don't know.
So my thing is that like this is about Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears, but this really is, in my opinion, about Lizzo, the whole Lizzo situation. Because like from my understanding, like it's not about this resurface. It's more so that like the kids involved are, I guess they're adults now, and I think they're trying to sue. And according to I think Tiffany's side, she's basically said, oh, like these people are trying to extort us for like money all these years on baseless claims. Then this incident happens with the whole Lizzo thing, and Aries Spears is involved, and now it all of a sudden is getting like airplay because to me it almost seems as if like, oh, we now hate Aries Spears because he's body shaming. And Tiffany Haddish just happens to get pulled into it because like she's
in the video
adjacent. Yeah, she's adjacent to it.
Honestly,
I mean, before her fame, she did shit to basically get on. She was doing comedy skits, whether they were funny or not.
I mean, but the story. I mean, the video was supposedly originally uploaded to Funny or Die in 2014, but then when they were alerted to it and found out, they removed it in 2018. It's 2022 now. So they knew about it back in 2018. So, I mean, I don't know if I jive with that story of, it just coming to light just because of,
Well, I think it's more light shed on it because Aries Spears is in the spotlight right now. I think that's what Al C is trying to say. I think people knew about it, but now since he decided to talk about Lizzo, now it's like to the umpteenth
They
power.
went digging. They went
Yeah,
digging
they
in his
went
closet.
digging
Yeah,
to
they
try to
went
see.
digging.
They went digging, they
Yeah.
found something, and
Oh.
now this is the thing
Almost
to
like
talk about right
they'll
now.
go digging in
Yeah,
your
it's-
old tweets. You
It's
know,
like,
when
so
somebody
you want
say
to talk
something.
you want to talk about Lizzo. Let's see what you got in your closet, that's glaring, so we can dig some dirt up on you. And that's what they found. And unfortunately, like Alcee said, Tiffany Haddish is wrapped up in it. And like I said, it's not, I mean, to me, like sometimes I don't know how to feel about this. Like, I just feel like it was a bad joke. It was terrible. It was
decision
terribly
at any
terribly
time, bro.
executed. Do I think they should be convicted and like sentenced to life in prison? No, I don't think that. But I think it was
But
done.
their character's going to
Yeah,
get
I
dragged.
think it was done in poor. I think it was done in poor taste.
Can I throw a
like,
curveball though? Because think about this. Think about one of Dave Chappelle's funnier skits. You know, when he made fun of R. Kelly. You know, about I want to piss on you. You know, and it really went, but he didn't use kids. He didn't use kids.
That's the biggest fact.
But they'll look at the Boondocks where they talked about R. Kelly and they said, "Hey, the girl saw P. I will move out of the way. She decided to stand there." Like that joke flew.
But
Nobody ever
I
questioned
think the difference between this and that is these are actual people. Like, these are actual characters that we've actually seen do something. Like, this is a kid, you know what I'm saying, that nobody knows about. You know, we're talking about R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, like people like that. These are already people that we know, that are celebrities and things of that nature. So yes, I think it's more funny and it can be pulled off, and people won't bat an eye about it because they already know the stories behind it. But when you involve the kid that, nobody knows about, he's in his drawers, and
you're
making
Arian Spears, got your shirt off,
Aaron Spears,
putting baby oil on his back. Like, come on, bro.
And then people already look at you.
Weird.
People already look at you as this nasty, fat, like,
Jabba the Hutt,
like,
smelly,
dude,
stinky,
and like that doesn't help your case either. So it's just all bad, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, hey, like I said, karma is a bitch. It come back around. You know what I'm saying?
I think this points out the contradictory nature of people because yes, all these things you describe are disgusting and nobody should be trying to find humor in it. But just as much as you bring back up like Chappelle and like some of his old stuff, let's be real. Everything that we found funny 10, 20, even 30 years ago,
bro,
you can't make those same jokes now.
They had a whole movie named White Chicks. Do you think they could make that movie in a time like today? No, of course not.
Eddie Murphy is the GOAT, right? Now, do you think he could do Delirious?
No.
Talking to, talking about
the first half,
the gay community, the way he was.
30 minutes is totally dedicated to that. He'd have been canceled.
You can't
so fast.
So you can't. I mean, shit's gonna age terribly. The only thing you can hope for is that as it ages terribly, you don't do something silly for people to bring this new eyes to the situation. Because we've been making jokes about R. Kelly for years now. It's just now he happens to be actually getting held accountable for his acts. Right.
I mean, I think, like I said,
I
think the worst thing for them is the fact that the kid is damn near naked in his drawers. Like, if it wasn't for that, I don't think people would even care about this, to be honest.
But even as a comedian, as an adult though, and it was, I mean, to my understanding, it was multiple adults there in that whole situation. At some point, an adult should have been like, you know what, this is a bad idea. The
bad idea was bringing in the kid.
That's what I'm saying.
Bringing in the kid.
I'm like, dog, this is a bad idea. Maybe we shouldn't do this. And then, hold on, not only to do that, but then to upload it to Funny or Die. Like, why? Like,
Funny or Die has has a tradition of having some off the wall, like comedians doing off the beaten path type comedy. That could have made it funnier by, instead of having an actual child, maybe having like a little guy, like having Kevin Hart play the child. Like, that would have probably made it funnier.
If they had another adult doing it, I think, again, this wouldn't even be an issue. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that they actually had a kid in this clip is what's killing them. Like, and it's I mean, it sucks, but it is what it is. Like I said, I don't think that they should be prosecuted and get, served hard time. But again, I mean, you're gonna take a shot to your credibility, and it don't help that Aaron Spears is talking shit about Lizzo, and now look
But
what
I think,
happened.
for
I
somebody
think once
like-
you
It
certain
don't help that
things-
Eric Spears look like what Magic Johnson should look
certain
like.
things once your name gets mentioned in it, you're never gonna recover. Once your name gets brought up in that, it's over.
Ain't no coming back from that. And I mean, the thing of it is the part that sucks but don't suck at the same time for Tiffany Haddish is like, you can't say you didn't know about it. You was apparently the mom of the child,
you was a
so
part of it.
you can't say you didn't know about the shit.
Yeah.
You okayed it
It's a
because you was trying to.
a family
And I mean,
friend.
really,
Collateral
this just points out to. Okay, I understand a lot of people want to be famous, but don't do shit that'll damage your character
Right.
to become famous, right? I mean, yeah, a lot of people want that spotlight, but this kind of goes back to what we said. Would you stab your brother in the back to get $1 billion? It's the same thing. Would you do something that you would deem disrespectful to become a millionaire, billionaire, or to get any bit of fame? And the sad part is, certain people would do it. I'm not putting on a dress. I'm not putting on none of that shit to become famous, but you got people who will do that shit. People who go beyond their character or go below their character, and just so they could get their name put in the headlines, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, look, be you at the end of the day. That's all I can say. If you feel like something wrong, don't do it. Don't put no fucking kid in the video about no damn child molestation, especially playing no fucking R. Kelly in the background. The nerve of you two motherfuckers.
That clip was just
the
all
gall
wrong.
on your balls.
Unmitigated.
Unmitigated.
The gall.
Next, security.
Come get these niggas.
On to the next topic. We got the GOAT, Serena. So unfortunately, she lost in her match.
Hey, man.
But hey, look, man. Woman with the most titles, all of this, that, and the third. She's definitely by far the GOAT. You can tell she's had a lasting effect on a lot of the women that you see playing tennis right now. And I'm gonna be honest with you, she lost. I don't see a reason to watch the U.S. Open anymore. How about y'all? Y'all tell me what y'all feel about Serena.
Hey, man. Come on, man.
To me, Serena
Oh, Coco
Williams,
Gauff's still in there. I'm sorry. I take that back. Coco
on,
Gauff is
man.
okay. Okay, Coco.
Okay, but
Do
Yeah,
your
she
thing,
made it to the
Coco.
quarterfinals or something, didn't she?
To me though, man, I'll take a different route totally. To me, Serena Williams made it okay for African American women to go inside a gym and to work out and to lift weights, because for many years, and it's still a taboo thing for African American women, now, feel like, hey, if I lift weights, I'm gonna be big, I'm gonna look like a man. Nah. And I've never understood
I don't
this.
think it's as taboo as it used to be back in the day.
It's still there, but I've never understood this argument. Dudes all talking about, man, I don't like Serena. She look like a man. I ain't never seen no man.
Look
And
like
I
that.
don't wanna go down the road.
Ain't no
but
man looking like that, cuz.
I ain't never seen no man look like that. I'm just saying. I'm trying to be as respectful, as I can here in this situation.
Serena, you thick as a bowl of grits.
I mean, classically, muscles are associated with men and more masculine figures, and because she is an elite athlete, she has muscles. As simple as that. She also happened to have yams. So what is you talking about, my nigga? Like the yams is oiled, and the trophies on the wall are polished.
Ain't oil, cuz.
They are
They
oiled.
got Crisco or olive oil on them, cuz.
They got shea
They got
butter
butter on.
and tea tree oil to make sure they're smooth and no blemishes. Like,
But shout out
She-
to her though, because think about it, in that whole situation, coming from Compton, California. If you would have said
what?
anybody, not only her but her sister Venus, and I think Venus deserves a lot of credit too, because that was her first inspiration, her sister Venus. To come from Compton, California, with the gang banging, the environment, you would think
Will
and
Smith
understanding.
slapping
And to
people.
play tennis.
Yeah, that's what I was going
Not
to.
just
All
You know,
things, yeah.
and her a shout out to her father too, Richard Williams. You know, for having that vision and having the dedication to pour into both of his daughters, even though he had three. And one, rest in peace to the older one. But to practice on public golf courses, you know, while gunshots and people doing drive-bys and doing all that certain stuff, but you still had them to focus on a common goal and to get them and use their talent to enable and propel them to be international icons, and to be a role model for black girls coming up. Because you know, if it wasn't for Venus and Serena, well, go back to Althea Gibson and Zena Garrison. I want to give respect to them. But after those two, you got Venus and Serena. You know, there probably be no Coco Gauffs. I'm blanking on her name.
Naomi Osaka.
Yeah,
Osaka.
Naomi Osaka, and many other girls, girls of color, and not just in tennis, but in other sports. You know, she's
Untraditional sports.
she's been a model for women to diversify, not only go sports, but do fashion, do business, and just be a brand all to herself. So I say salute to her for being an icon in various mediums.
And not just, and I wouldn't just say women of color. I would say dark skinned women. You know what I'm saying? Like, she represents, like really dark skinned women. And we always talk about colorism and things of that nature. So I want to give a shout out to her for that as well, because we can talk about women of color all day, but when you look, at her being a darker skinned woman and being able to propel her and her sister to be able to propel themselves to the top of tennis and be arguably the best tennis player in the history of women's tennis, that's something to say, you know what I'm saying, like as a black woman. So and I've always been a big fan of Serena, not just for her looks, but because she is the GOAT, in my opinion, of tennis. And people can say what they want to say, but she kept it relevant for a long time. Like, you know what I'm saying, her and Venus kept it relevant for a long time. What's up?
Would you say that Serena is the GOAT of all sports? The best athlete in totality?
I wouldn't go that far. I'm not going to go that far. But I will say that she's up there. When you talk about the Tom Brady's, you talk about the Michael Jordans, you talk about LeBron James.
Top five.
To me, she's
number one.
definitely up there with those guys. If you're talking about the greatest of all time in sports in general, I would say she's probably top 5, top 10.
When you're talking about the GOAT as well, you got to look at longevity. I mean,
yeah, she's been doing it.
She 40-something. She's 46 years old.
And to
right
and to come back after taking a break and to do what she did, having a baby. She didn't really look like she was in the best.
Then it sounds like y'all saying that she's the GOAT. I mean, she's been doing this longer than a lot of other
I'm not
athletes.
gonna say she's the greatest. I'm not gonna say she's the greatest across all sports, but she's definitely up there. And she wasn't in the best shape either. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you look at her, she wasn't in the greatest shape that she's been in her entire career. She was in decent shape, but, she definitely probably could have been in better shape. But she came back and she was still out there competing, giving folks hell. And, of course, the classic speech, when the lady asked her, how are you doing this? I am Serena. What the fuck you talking about? You know what I'm saying? I'm Serena Williams at the end of the day. This is me. This is what I do. And I think that resonated with a lot of people. I've seen a lot of athletes, a lot of people I know just retweeting that, because it's just like, don't forget who the hell I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, don't disrespect me and ask me how I'm out here beating people that damn well I should be beating at the end of the day. So, but yeah, I mean, shouts out to Serena and Venus. And I mean, if you haven't watched King Richard, it's a dope movie. I mean, me and my wife watched it. And, if you want to see her, like, some of the story, I mean, the backstory, it's a pretty good movie. But yeah, she's a beast, man. And she's definitely going to be missed from tennis. And hopefully Naomi and the Cocos, and they'll carry on that legacy for black women and propel us to the top of tennis. Keep us up there. So
Coco gonna definitely keep it going. Naomi, she got other stuff going on.
Yeah, I know, but she'll come back.
She'll come back. No, I'm not sending no shot either.
You know?
I'm not sending no shot. But when you look at the focus on the individual sport, and actually watching Coco hit old girl in the most recent match with the Mutombo wave. Nah, cuz I'm sorry, it's gonna be Coco's for the next couple years, man. But keeping it in the realm of sports, we got the NFL season about to start back up. So y'all go ahead, put your teams out there. Who gonna win? We know the Cowboys not gonna win.
Hater.
Right.
Go ahead.
That's
and let us know.
You already know. Tighten up, shout it. You know what I'm saying? Who? Boy, stop. Who is Dallas? That's what we need to be asking. Who is Dallas? Did y'all make it as far as we did in the playoffs? I'm just trying to remember. Did y'all make it as far as we made it in the playoffs last year? What you talking about? Because that's exactly what you're gonna be asking this year. You know what I'm saying? Okay, all right.
Oh,
keep
don't
it,
do that.
keep it cute. Keep it cute. Keep it cute. Keep it cute. Because how many have y'all won in the most recent years?
How many of y'all won?
I'm just saying, how many of y'all won in the most recent years? Y'all can say you won championships.
It's starting early.
But what have you done for me lately?
The season
what
have
you done for me lately? Y'all ain't did shit lately. You know what I'm saying? But suck.
Each other this year.
But suck.
Okay.
But suck.
We'll see.
Okay, we'll see. And who's your coach? So we ain't gonna act like your coach just the best coach in the world. So I wouldn't be talking too tough
Tannehill
up on here.
Right.
That's all right. But we got a young strapping quarterback waiting in the wing just in case Tannehill break a leg and Tannehill break a leg out there, bum boy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't be talking much because Dallas really didn't want to pay your boy Dak. You know, Dak, you could have came to my boys because we would have treated you with the utmost respect. But you know what I'm saying? The Cowboys really don't respect you. They just sent your one of your receivers, you know what I'm saying? You know, they just sent one of your receivers off, you know what I'm saying? But they supposed to be the best. They supposed to be America's team.
AJ Brown
America's team, but y'all sent Amari Cooper. Y'all sent Amari Cooper off. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, we gonna see what y'all gonna do.
Baltimore,
y'all gonna
pay Lamar?
Of course we are, man. Don't even worry about all that. Don't even worry about all that, brother. Don't worry about what's going on. All you need to know is I just want to see at the end of the year, the Ravens will be hoisting up the trophy.
Cowboys always gonna win the Super Bowl every year. Boy, the boys won the trash bowl every year, goddammit. Y'all niggas.
Well, with that being said, Rob is going for the Cowboys. He's clearly going for the Titans.
And need to try to change your name to Dallas Pooh, goddammit. That's why you got your hat turned backwards, because you don't want people to see that sorry ass logo that you got on the front of that motherfucker. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. I ain't hurt. You hurt. Shit. You hurt. My team made it farther than yours. That's all I'm saying, cuz. Yep, clap your hands. That's about as much clapping you gonna be doing this goddamn year. Clap your hands right now, goddamn it. Clap it.
Oh my God.
We gonna see. My boys is proving.
Proving what?
They don't even
They made it farther than y'all.
Moving on to the next topic.
I'm just saying, don't call me out
this every week.
when y'all ain't did shit.
At the end of the show, I don't think we're gonna make it because these two about to come to blows over some teams that ain't even played yet. So
we gonna revisit this conversation. Yep, I'm animated right now. God damn it, I'm so animated. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say. I don't give a goddamn. Fuck out of here. Now you done gave me a reason to hate on y'all niggas, and I like y'all niggas. But I'm about to root against y'all every fucking game this year. Since you want to talk that shit.
Oh my God.
Yup.
They didn't turn them up.
Yup.
They done turned
Fuck
them up.
Dak. Fuck all them niggas.
Oh my God.
Break a leg, goddamn it. Again.
Somebody unplug his mic. Cut his mic off, Vince McMahon. Triple H, Stephanie, cut his mic off, please. He is way off script.
Fuck the script. God damn it. This is improv at its fucking finest, god damn it.
This nigga that just whipped his dick out on the stage and said,
I did. I put that motherfucker right on my goddamn computer desk.
Pause.
Anyways, man.
Okay.
Moving on to the
Moving right along.
We're gonna edit that right on out.
No, we're not. We're leaving that in there. You're gonna hear about my dick on my computer desk.
You'll hear a loud thump in the background.
Oh my
God
God.
damn it.
Anyways, man, moving on to the last topic. We do this at the end of every show, every week. We talk about the best thing that we have seen all week. So, fellas, y'all let me know what's the best thing that you have seen throughout this week.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, shout out to the Pivot because they did an excellent job with C.J. Stroud and Bijan Robinson. I'm not an Ohio State fan by any means. Can't stand Ohio State, but actually sitting down and hearing C.J. Stroud's story and just seeing how mature he was as a young man, man, he was really and thoroughly impressive. So seeing that C.J. Stroud and Bijan Robinson episode of the Pivot was really impressive.
My thing, the best thing I've seen this week was actually the Untold Rise and Fall of And1. I thought that was really good. You know, it's funny. I didn't realize just how they kind of proliferated, and it just was how important they were. Like during the time, it was like even like their apparel. I always thought their apparel was kind of trash personally, but like I mean, you know, still like I didn't realize that folk was really out here like buying them shoes and you know the mixtapes and everything. I remember them. I mean, they were popular enough to have even Dave Chappelle do jokes about it, you know. But like I mean, I guess it was one of those things that was like a blip on the radar for some time and then it went away. And you know, just seeing the totality of the story and how a lot of folk got a career, the closest they'd ever become to the NBA, and then that kind of all just get taken away from them like that, you know, and how important it was to the culture. I thought that was real interesting.
The best thing I've seen all week, I watched the movie last night with my wife, which turned out to be pretty entertaining. It's called Fall. It's about these people who like to rock climb or climb in general. So basically, the plot is this lady is married to this guy, and he falls off the cliff and dies. And so to get over the guy, her and her friend end up climbing a tower, and they get stranded on top of the tower, which is like taller than like 1,000 feet taller or 2,000 feet taller than the Eiffel Tower, basically. So it's a really, really interesting movie, and I would definitely watch it. It had my wife on pins and needles. She hates heights, so she was terrified, but she was also captivated at the same time. And again, when I know a movie's good when my wife puts her phone down and she's like really into the movie. So it was really good. So if y'all get a chance to check it out, it's called Fall.
Hey, it's good. I had to say, it's two best things I've seen all week, man. Keeping it with the documentary was Operation Flagrant Foul, where they were talking about that ref who was doing a lot of shady things, betting on his own games and stuff like that back in the day. Ironically, now you can bet on sports. Go figure. But it was crazy, man. Especially seeing, I remember seeing that 02 Sacramento Lakers series, and everybody was talking about how poorly officiated it was, and then to actually go and see that he was the one that officiated and he was letting calls go, kind of just goes to show that sports is rigged sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And another thing that I'd have to say was the greatest thing that I seen all week was college football being back, and just knowing that football is back. It's been a long time coming. It's been a lot of trash sports that we've had to watch. Unfortunately, we've had to sit down and watch shows with our wives that we did not want to watch, that we were not interested in. Now we get to watch football. It's
That's
back.
what we're doing?
Officially.
Y'all just want drama in y'all household.
y'all.
Like, Jesus.
But guess
like,
what y'all finna hear right now? Because y'all have officially made it to the end of the episode. So we appreciate you all for making it this far. And as we always say, we ain't got the ticket today, man. But y'all don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share so your mama can see it, your daddy can see it, your auntie can see it, your uncle can see it. Still that same DoorDash driver because you still a bitch. Hey, man, and I hope y'all enjoy the show. From me, from Rob, from Reeves, from Al C, we out this thing. And if you did not feel us this time, I guarantee you gon' feel us the next. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Hey, put your favorite team in the comments. Put your favorite team in the comments.
it won't be the Cowboys.
Brown paper
It
bag.
won't.
Brown paper bag. My brother put me on it. Had to get some.
Are they sponsoring us?
No.
Are they sponsoring us?
They
though?
finna sponsor us. They finna sponsor us. They fixing to.
I got another bottle.
I know. We may need to blur that out until we get the check.
So, as we always say, if you didn't feel us this time, I guarantee you gonna feel us the next. Now get the fuck off my motherfucking screen, nigga!
Hey, it's your boy Rob from the TheyGonFeelMePodcast. And if you want more authentic conversation from authentic men, check out this video.